Good evening, I'm April Singh Lama and these are the top stories of the hour. Rashtriya Swatantra Party Chair Rabi Lamitan arrested in connection with cooperative fraud case, Lamitan being taken to Pokhara for further investigation. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli directs concerned authorities to distribute grant to disaster victims by mid-November for temporary shelter and to resume essential services within 15 days. An independent panel that probed into the assassination attempt on Donald Trump says the U.S. Secret Service had deep flaws, warns of attempt in future. And host Nepal plays a goalless draw with Bhutan in SAF Women's Championship. Sri Lanka kick off their campaign with a 1-0 win over Maldives. Rashtriya Swatantra Party Chair and former Home Minister Rabi Lamitan has been arrested in connection with the cooperative fraud case. Lamitan was arrested by a team of Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal Police led by Bureau spokesperson Hobindra Bogati. He is being taken to Pokhara today itself for further investigation. Meanwhile, Rashtriya Swatantra Party has said the government had been motivated by political vengeance to arrest Lamitan. Moments before his arrest, Lamitan had addressed his party cadres at his party office in Vanasthali and clarified he had no part in the case.
अदालती प्रक्रियालाई सम्मान गर्न चाहन्छु तर यो राजनीतिक पूर्वाग्रहमा खुलेर लड्नको निमित्त पनि अपील गर्न चाहन्छु म सम्मानित अदालतप्रति आशा राख्दछु विश्वास राख्दछु भन्न त यहाँ अदालत पनि मिलाउला तलाई कहाँ छोडौला र तलाई चुनावै लड्न नसक्ने गरी र तेरो पार्टी नफुटाई छोड्दिन भन्ने प्रतिशोधका साथ पनि मान्छेहरू लागेका छन् भन्ने मलाई थाहा छ तर ती सबै बीच सामना गर्ने साहस बोकेर हामी उभिएका छौं.
A single bench of Kaski District Court Judge Krishna Jung Shah had allowed the police to arrest Lamitan today itself in response to the application filed by District Police Office Kaski. A team of Kaski police led by Chief SP Syam Babu Olia had reached District Court to get the arrest warrant. The District Police Office had corresponded with Central Investigation Bureau Kathmandu, Valley Crime Division and the District Police Office Kathmandu to make the arrest. Lamitan, who also served as Managing Director of Gorkha Media Network, has been alleged of mishandling cooperatives' money with Jitendra Babu, GB Rai, by the Special Parliamentary Probe Committee. The committee, though its probe report had recommended an investigation for fraud, organized crime and for money laundering on Lamitan, Network's chair GB Rai, the then Vice President Chair and former DIG Chabi Lal Joshi and Kumar Ramtel, former DIG Joshi, was arrested on 22nd of September and is in custody. A total of 655.4 million rupees had been transferred to Gorkha Media Network from Pokhara Surya Darshan and Chitwan's Sahara, Butwal Supreme and Kathmandu Swarna Lakshmi cooperatives when Lamitan was the Managing Director and GB Rai the Chair. Anyone guilty of supporting organized crime can face between 3 to 10 years in prison and main perpetrator's life in prison. Now, a team formed by the Pokhara Metropolis after investigation concluded that 1.35 billion rupees of 18,700 depositors of Surya Darshan Cooperative was mishandled. 5 members of the board of directors were arrested on fraud charges, while 14 others have been absconding. Former Home Minister and Rashtriya Swatantra Party Chair Rabi Lamitan's name came up as investigations began on the basis of complaint filed by the victim by the same cooperative. The misappropriation of cooperative funds, a criminal case under investigation, became contentious after the ruling coalition changed. Following Rabi Lamitan's appointment as Home Minister, the then opposition party Nepali Congress raised questions of the fairness of the investigation. They demanded a parliamentary inquiry committee and blocked parliament proceedings. The winter session of parliament ended without achievements and the budget session became contentious after the Attorney General's office stated there were no case against Lamitan. Nepal Congress demanded for an investigation which led to obstructions and a writ was filed at the Supreme Court on the Nepali month of Jesta. The opposition parties, including Nepali Congress, obstructed the budget session which led to the formation of a special parliamentary committee to probe into the cooperative fraud on May 28th under the coordination of Surya Thapa. The committee concluded that Lamitan was guilty of involvement along with others and recommended further actions. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has directed all concerned authorities to ensure victims of floods and landslides get their grant Monday by mid-November to build temporary shelters. He has also directed them to resume electricity, health and drinking water services within 15 days. Concluding the 14th meeting of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management National Council in Office of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers in Singhadarbar, Premier Oli directed for immediate relief to the victims of recent rain inducted and disasters. The Premier also directed authorities to collect extensive details on damages by the disasters and for coordination with donor agencies and foreign governments for financial aids to make up for any deficit in reconstruction budget. He also emphasized on providing compensations to farmers who lost their crops and directed for repair of canals within 2025. Prime Minister Oli, who is also the chair of the council, urged to bring in line policies for disaster preparedness and development of integrated settlements, saying that Nepal was at risk of earthquakes, landslides and disasters caused by climate crises. He also emphasized on the need to relocate those living in risk zones. The Prime Minister called the recent disasters as the biggest since the 2015 earthquake. Welcome back. Opposition parties have discussed on demanding for calling special session of the House of Representatives, saying the government had remained indifferent regarding matters of public concerns. The meeting held at the Federal Parliament building earlier today, the opposition parties have decided to submit a memorandum and then demand for a special session of the Parliament if their demands were not addressed. They alleged the government had not shown seriousness towards the public's issues.
प्रतिपक्षी दलहरुको तर्फबाट सरकार समक्ष ज्ञापन पत्र पेश गर्ने भन्ने समझदारी भएको छ, छलफल भएको छ र सरकारले प्रतिपक्षी दलहरुले जे जनसरोकारका विषयहरुमा उठाइएका आवाजहरु छन् त्यसप्रति गम्भीरता देखाएन, त्यसप्रति जिम्मेवारी बोध गरेन र सकारात्मक ढंगले रेस्पोन्स त्यसको गरेन भने विशेष अधिवेशनको आह्वान गर्नुपर्ने परिस्थिति पनि आउन सक्छ। त्यो बारेमा पनि छलफल भएको छ।
राज्यलाई पर्ने व्यवहार जुन जनताको एकदम चासोको विषय छ र अहिले चाडबाडको टाइममा हामीले कसरी कन्सिडर गर्ने र त्यसमा पनि एउटा विधि एउटा प्रक्रियाको हिसाबमा जाँदाखेरि पहिला ध्यान आकर्षणै गर्दाखेरि सचेत गराउने। भोलि फेरि उहाँहरुको बानी कस्तो छ भन्दाखेरि यिनहरुले चाडबाडको बेलामा राज्यलाई व्यवहार गर्यो भन्ने प्रोपोगन्डा फैलाइदिने बानी छ के। त्यसले गर्दा हामीले विधि सबै सल्लाह गरेर विशेष अधिवेशन चाहिँ मेरो विचारमा हामी डेलिगेसन 5 गतेसम्मको भन्ने अहिले प्रारम्भिक हाम्रो त्यो भएको छ। त्यसपछि चाहिँ हामी विशेष अधिवेशनमा मागौँ छौँ।
The opposition parties have also alleged the government of lacking preparedness despite early information and not prioritizing rescue, relief and rehabilitation of victims of recent disasters.
केही दिन अगाडि भएको जुन अविरल वर्षा त्यो वर्षाको बारेमा त मौसम तथा जलवायु विज्ञान विभाग
The opposition has also said the government of attempting to bring an ordinance that they say would split parties. They have decided to draw the government speaker and the president's attention for the same. The meeting of the opposition parties had been called by CPN Maoist Center Chair Puspa Kamal Dal to discuss on contemporary issues. In attendance were leaders from Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Unified Socialist, Janata Samajwadi Party and Aam Janata Party. The meeting was also attended by leaders from Loktantrik Samajwadi Party led by Mahantas Thakur that is in the government. Now in our public segment, we had asked all 7 provinces what should be the role of the opposition party in response to growing concerns about the government's inability to function effectively. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
राम्रो गर्न सपोर्ट गर्नुपर्छ, नराम्रो क्रिटिकली विरोध गर्नुपर्छ।
बाढी पीडित भयो हैन, अब दुनिया दुर्घटनाहरू हुन्छन्, त्यसमा सरकारले हेरेन भने प्रतिपक्षले हेरेर अहिलेको घडीमा उद्धार गरेर सरसहयोग गर्नुपर्छ।
हर चीजमा आलोचना विरोध गर्ने भएन,
प्रभावकारी भूमिका खेल्न सक्न पर्यो।
विकासको कार्यलाई अलिक अगाडि बढाउनु पर्यो र सरकारलाई जवाब दिन सक्नु पर्यो।
भ्रष्टाचार र दलाली कामलाई नियन्त्रण गर्ने,
सेवा गर्नको लागि यिनीहरुको सेवा गर्न मनै छैन।
देश र जनताको पक्षमा काम
लाउने खालको भूमिका चाहिँ हुनु पर्यो।
विपक्षी दल मिसन 84 को तयारीमा छ। अहिले बोल्छ भने त्यसको भोट कट्न सक्छ। त्यही हिसाबले विपक्षी दलहरू साइलेन्ट बस्छ।
प्रतिपक्षको भूमिका चाहिँ अब सहयोगात्मक र खबरदारी मूलक हुनुपर्छ।
डुबानमा परेकाहरूको उद्धारका लागि सशक्त भूमिका निर्वाह गर्नुपर्ने।
यो सरकारमा चाहिँ साथ दिएर भूमिका खेले राम्रो हुन्थ्यो।
पोलको समस्या, यो बिजुलीको समस्या, बाटोको समस्या यो चाहिँ जस्तो थियो त्यस्तै रहिरहेको अवस्था छ।
जनता कति पीडामा छ, कति दुःखमा छ, यसले कसैको मतलब छैन।
देशको जनता र विकासको लागि यिनीहरूको कुनै सिन्डिकेट छैन, कुनै सोच छैन।
जनताको समस्याहरूदेखि लिएर सबै कुराहरूको लागि अब कानमा तेल हालेर सुत्नु भएन।
आफ्नो भूमिका बिर्सिनु भएन। अब यो सरकारलाई खबरदारी चाहिँ गरिनु पर्यो।
Despite the recent lifting of ban on land plotting, the real estate sector continues to struggle amid economic stagnation. Although interest rates are low and the market is accessible, transactions have declined even further compared to last year, indicating a significant downturn in real estate activities. To revitalize the real estate sector, the government opened land allotments last August for 1 year without land classification, hoping to boost transactions. However, investor interest has been low, with transactions primarily occurring for lands at lower rates near the city. This has led to a decrease in government revenue, which fell from 4.8 billion last year to 3.8 billion this year. Businesses attribute the challenges in the real estate market to the Nepal Rashtriya Bank's monetary policy. Last year, more than 39,000 plots of land were bought and sold around this time. However, it has reduced to around 30,000 during the same period this year. It's time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at yesterday's poll. What type of office bearers should be appointed to the commissions related to transitional justice? Your options were 33% for A, experts on law, 30% for B, one with knowledge on conflict, 37% for C, one who is able to deliver justice. And here's today's question. Why has the real estate sector not boomed despite low interest rates and the lifting of ban on plotting? A, no money in the market, B, land is expensive, or C, constraints of monetary policy. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It's time for the international news. An independent panel tasked with investigating the 13th of July assassination attempt on former U.S. President and Republican candidate for November election in Butler, Pennsylvania, has released a report and said the U.S. Secret Service had become bureaucratic, complacent, and static. The panel said the organization had deep flaws that need to be resolved urgently, or more assassination attempts like the one at Donald Trump's rally will happen. It called for an overhaul of his relationship in the 52-page report and said a number of specific failures and breakdowns enabled the attack against the Republican presidential candidate. The Secret Service has already acknowledged failures on its part, and its director resigned weeks after the shooting. In a statement, its acting director, Ronald Rowe, said the agency would carefully examine the new report. He said that Secret Service had already significantly improved readiness, operational and organizational communication, and implemented enhanced protective operations for the former president. But in an internal memo to agency staff, acting director Rowe said he had reservations about the recommendations in the independent report, which was drafted by state and national law enforcement officials. The panels praised the agents who risked their lives to protect many of the country's high-ranking officials, but noted several leaderships and cultural failures. This included a troubling lack of critical thinking among staff and a reluctance to speak up. The agency's issues, the report said, were systematic or cultural, and it called for fundamental reform, including removing some of its top leadership as soon as possible. A gunman attempted to assassinate Trump at his campaign rally by firing from a nearby rooftop. The gunman, Thomas Matthew Crooks, fired 8 shots at the rally, killing one man and leaving Trump with a bloody ear. The Secret Service shot and killed crooks. We have more news coming up, but right now it is time for yet another short break.
Sports news.
Welcome back. Now, Nepal and Bhutan have played a goalless draw at SAF Women's Championship 2024. In the match held in Dasrath Stadium in Tripureshwar, Nepal had an early chance to take the lead. However, Sabita Rana Magar's attempt in the 7th minute went off the post. Rasmi Kumari Gising made an attempt in the 13th minute. However, Bhutanese custodian Sangeeta Mongar managed to save it. 4 minutes later, Preeti Rai got a chance with a through pass from Sabita, which went to waste. Lack of coordination between Nepalese players cost another chance in the 20th minute. Geeta Rana headed on target, utilizing Sabita's corner. However, the ball deflected off Amisha Karki. Nepal struggled to break Bhutan's defense throughout the remainder of the match. Hira Kumari Bujel had to be taken off the field on stretcher in the first half injury time. She was replaced by Bimala Bika. Nepal struggled more in the second half and failed to find the net, eventually sharing the points with Bhutan. Earlier in the day, Sri Lanka kicked off their SAF Championship campaign with a 1-0 win over Maldives. In the match held in Dasrath Stadium this afternoon, Emesa Warna Kalasurya scored the decisive goal for Sri Lanka in her debut match. She scored in the 18th minute of the match. Emesa had, prior to this, captained the under-19 women's team for Sri Lanka. With a win, the team have collected 3 points in Group B. Their second match is slated for Monday against Bhutan, which will be followed by the second fixture between Nepal and Maldives. That is all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur TV. Good night.